My playlist is everywhere, so that's the thing. Like I'm on the way here, so I had to.
From the dust we came, to the dust we shall return.
Out in Minnesota where the weather's colder, where whoever can't stand up gets run it over. I pour a glass of Moet for the fallen soldiers. Our journey just began, this shit is far from over. This shit is far from over. Yeah. Crucified as I'm wearing my crucifix. A lot of people gave up on us, it's ludicrous. They only killing off black men. Ain't too much in change up from right now and back then. I'm tired of the protest, man, we need some action. And fuck Donald Trump, man, that nigga be capping. Shout out to them niggas on the corner, we active. Put they foot up on our necks and now nigga reacting. Look,
Back, y'all, we back.
Niggas don't play, no. Why you play with your life, huh? Cause my shooter gon' strike some. We gon' do this all night, huh? Little bro, keep the pipe up. So you know it's on sight, huh? I don't stop at red lights, no. All them nights I ran it up. Pray the Lord forgive me up. I been fucking my city up. Got shooters like 21. We got the right one, yeah. You got the right one. I hit the block with the gigs, I haven't slept in weeks. I make a plan, can't take this and ride it again. Real niggas know what I mean. I got a bitch and she know I be fucking a friend. Now she be fucking the team, just got in the town and you know I'm a fucker with bag of exotic. I got smoke of a lead. I got a name in the streets, won't get a name off of me. Y'all know what the fuck going on, man. We back with another one. With another one, man. Yeah, open discuss, the university. College dropout, AAA.
In the building.
We back, man. I'm here with two of my, 10-year plus. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. Special guest, man. Y'all talk to my fans nice, man.
I'll kick it off. My name is Eurell. We've been in since some jits.
Yeah, that was cool. Like third, fourth grade. Nah, you moved up here fifth grade.
Fifth, sixth grade, something like that. But like soon as I moved into Minnesota, we
literally. I think I might be the first family he ever met in the cities. Like,
absolutely.
Personally, like real shit. So
absolutely.
like 20-year homeboy right here. I'm gonna shake his hand one more time, just for that. Go ahead and introduce yourself, my boy.
Yes, indeed. I'm Jacques. I also go by JD, Jacques, Diaz, Big Dog. A lot of different nicknames, but it's Jacques. Been knowing this guy since high school, quite a long time.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
Came together in high school, sports together, and now we're here.
Yeah, again, another one of my 10+ year boys. I met Jacques really on some low key, I was hating on, bro. But I gotta say, he put me under his wing. He gave me the little bro treatment, almost kind of like Eurell did in a way. It was different with him. His was with girls, his was with sports. And bro was just like, look at my boy, man. You see him, y'all see him. Like, get it close, y'all see him.
Curly hair.
You know what I'm saying? Show him Palomama in the flesh. Stop playing.
Zoom in.
You know what I'm saying? So when we was in high school, bro was just like upperclassman, real outstanding individual. Like, I wasn't one of those street guys, you know what I mean? So I always looked up to the guys that had a little bit of class to them, but also you feel like you couldn't really mess with them, So he was one of those dudes, carried himself real good, always had a clean cut, had a car early. Girls loved him, and I used to hate that shit. I used to hate that shit, bro.
That point, you gotta look at him and learn from it. What is he doing that I ain't doing?
Man, that's what he did though. He pulled me in. Like the first interaction I think I had with bro, we was on the football field, like you said, sports, and bro was he was a captain. So like, first off, you gotta listen to him. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And looking at him outside, looking in, you would have a perception. But then talking to him, he probably one of the most humble people I've honestly, like real life, ever met. Like, he always say thank you. He'll damn near hold the door for you. He's polite to women, men, and children, animals. You know what I mean? And he was a great leader. Like, that was the thing I noticed about him the most. So like, talk about that a little bit, bro. Like, how did you come up? How many siblings? Family dynamic, shit like that.
For sure, yeah. I'm a St. Paul guy. Grew up in St. Paul. I have both my mom and my dad in my life, so they help my foundation of, I feel like, who I am as an individual. I have two sisters. One's older. I have one younger little sister, and then I have two brothers. All my siblings are half siblings. I have no full siblings, unfortunately.
What that mean?
So none of me and my siblings have the same mom and dad.
Oh, okay.
So we're all half. Like my.
Why you say it like that?
What do you mean? Why did I say half? Because a lot of people have full siblings, like the same mom and dad, but me, I just have half. So, I mean, they're like, so I guess I'll break it down. So one of my brothers, he has a different dad, and my other brother has a different mom. Okay. And then my little sister, she has a different mom. And then my older sister, she has a different mom. So it's all like...
So everybody's mixed up. Okay. Yeah. So it ain't like I got a stepbrother, we all live in the same house. Right. Okay, exactly. So everybody everywhere. That's why you say it like that.
For sure. So it's like spread across the different things. So that helped me also with growing and my maturity and just being a man at a young age. Because I felt like having both of my parents, my dad, he was there, but he wasn't like consistently in my life. But he helped me see what it means to be a strong man and also hold that character, that maturity, and that charisma. Because my dad was the one that helped me out get my vehicles at a young age. He was always a fly, cool dude, so I took that flyness from him.
Right.
And yeah, that's what brought me here to him today.
Shout out Pops.
He's a cool, suave dude. He's a one-of-a-kind type of guy. If you ever met him, he's crazy. They're very unique, kind of like myself, but yeah, he's just an individual. And made me who I am.
What about you, Ian?
Technically, so from my mom, it's 4 boys, 1 girl.
Gotcha.
Right? So my oldest brother, TJ, is my half brother, but I often forget that because his pops was in his life, but then my pops helped raise him too. So it's just like we just forget,
family.
Gotcha. And then we had a brother, Charles, that was one of my brothers who was killed, but he had the same dad, different mom, so another half brother.
Gotcha.
So they were the same age, so my pops was out there getting busy. But anyway,
shout out Pops.
But yeah, so everybody's older than me. So it was TJ, Donnie, Devon, and then me and my sister, and she came out first. So
gotcha. Y'all twins?
Yeah.
I've been forgetting that. Ariel, right?
Yeah, Ariel, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we're twins.
Damn, I be forgetting y'all twins.
I'm the baby.
She acts so much older than all of y'all. Like I be thinking she the older sister sometimes. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. So, the childish side come out sometimes for me, you know what I'm saying? So it keep me youthful.
Man.
But yeah, man. But just being a baby, like, you get to learn everything and like nitpick kind of what you want from everybody type of thing. So people always say like I'm a combination of my brothers and everything, and then like and obviously like was blessed enough to have my mom and dad both around. Living together would have been catastrophic. That was a crazy situation. Like the different like arguments and fights you'll see and everything. It's like, thank God they never got married. And it's crazy because now today they probably like the best of friends when they in the same room laughing and kikiing and hoo-hooing. Right. It's like, yo, it's crazy. But like kind of like you, like my pops definitely like taught us a lot of the stuff like this is what you need to do to like be a man, and some other stuff was good, some not so good.
Biological father.
Biological father.
Okay, yeah. Nah, that's dope.
So,
do y'all think having y'all biological dads around early did anything different for y'all than some of y'all friends who maybe didn't have their biological dad?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, I think it was just like that openness in a way. Like, yeah, there's some stuff that you kind of just never talked about just because society told you that you can't cry and all this and that, and your dad's got to
be tough,
kind of teach you the iron. You know what I'm saying? But like, it was that closest you accepted what he said as law. Yeah. Versus like if some dude like who my mom was dating tried to say it, it's like, nigga, like what are you talking about? Like,
same.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying I agree because it's just being able to see, like basically see your future. Like that's who created you, and you are gonna have some of his characteristics whether you like it or not. And you can choose to, as we get older, when we're young, we're kind of just influenced on what we see and how they act. But as you get older, you can try to choose like, I don't really like these parts about him, but I do like these other parts about him.
Absolutely.
So it's cool to see that, and with that growth within yourself, for sure.
Absolutely. So I remember me and my brothers had a conversation like that. Like we were living over in Maplewood across from like the Myth. Yeah. And we were all chilling in the room and kind of just that
was the crib.
That was the crib. Man, good days. But no, we all like literally decided like, yo, like none of us want to like be the type of dudes that just want to get multiple girls like all the time and you know what I'm saying, and cheat, this, that, and the third. Like we just like we're like, are we all in agreement on this? Like that this is bad for us type of thing.
Funny.
Like
I don't know
that's
y'all.
No, that's funny. That's
Lil Wayne.
My dad still to this day thinks he's a player. Still to this day.
Stop playing. My dad is 60 something odd years old. And this fool got a pinky ring. He got one earring. He got every scented cologne you can smell in the damn Burlington Mall.
The Curve Crush.
Yes. No, Pop's kind of expensive. I ain't gonna lie. When I went to Chicago, I stole some Dolce from him. So he kind of bougie with
stepping up a little bit.
Kind of bougie with it. But like he think he outside. Like that's the problem. Like.
They'll never lose it, you know.
That shit crazy. I ain't gonna lie. I went to the club the other day. I'm not gonna say the club because I don't want to give nobody no negative. But I felt so old, gang. Just the crowd. Like we need a 30 plus.
Yeah, I was literally talking to my mom about that the other day. She was talking about, I'm trying to open a 30 plus club and I can DJ. I was just like, she was like, during the day it could be like
maybe
a coffee shop or something at night.
Bartender, look.
Hey, the university. We here to connect people. Stop playing. Hey, so when y'all think of university, right? What's the first thing that comes to mind?
Education.
Right. Okay, bet. What about you?
Man, experience.
Okay.
Experience, because I didn't like, you know, like I did like a semester and a half in college, pretty much, and that alone was like taught me so much on just like how to
when you come home,
how to focus in and like bro, I thought I studied hard, bro. There was times I put 10 hours in for a statistics exam. The hardest I've ever studied in my life. Like, took a Adderall, everything. Like I gotta learn this. D+. I said, I called my mom crying. I can't do this. How am I supposed to do this if I just put everything within me into the study and like this is the best that I can do.
Right.
And so it's that experience, bro. But it's gonna teach you about yourself. University will teach you about yourself.
For sure. I agree. Yeah, like my college experience was different. I went to St. Thomas and St. Paul.
Okay.
Did all 4 years, fully funded, you know, because that's one thing.
Was it football wise?
No, that's one thing that stuck out. Like,
you were an academic guy?
Yeah, I was in high school.
Did you still play there though?
What?
Did you still play football there?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I chose when I went into college to just set sports aside. I was a beast in high school, and I got a few offers in like the MIAC conference to go play, but I originally wanted to go out of state, go to somewhere warm. I got accepted to the USC as well as the University of Miami, the U, you know, Hurricanes. Okay. And I was like, oh man, I'd be dope to be over there. But then me being young and mature, I was like, if I go out there, I'm just gonna party. Right. I'm not gonna get no education done. Right. I already know how I am with the girls. Like I ain't getting nothing done. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna stay home, stay close. I'm gonna go to one of the schools in the MIAC conference. So I got a full ride at McAllister, St. Thomas, and Gustavus.
I think you was trying to go to McAllister at first, right? Yeah. I think that was the talk.
For sure, McAllister, they're like in St. Paul, at least like academics, they're like boom, boom, boom up there. But
go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say so I did a college visit there, and when I went there, I just noticed it was just too nerdy there. Like the kids in the like courtyard area doing like lightsaber battles, and I'm like, I'm smart, I'm educated, but like I'm also still cool.
Yeah,
so I need a cool balance.
I'm not playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Yeah, exactly. So as much as reputation they had, I decided to go to St. Thomas because they still had a good reputation, and two of my other buddies were actually playing football there, and I roomed with them. And yeah, I just did full all 4 years there. Stayed on campus, was an RA, all that type of stuff. So it was a good experience.
And hold the fuck on. My boy said he was a beast in high school.
For sure.
I want to talk about that.
Let's talk about it.
I said Troy Polamalu for a reason. You know, I was gonna be funny
That's
about
a
it.
great. That's a great comparison. If you,
I was gonna be funny about it.
That's where the level is.
No. Real life.
Wow.
I was gonna make a joke about it because we weren't the years that I experienced with you. Our team wasn't the greatest
As a team, no.
as a whole. But
we had a few good players. But
yeah,
the team wasn't.
we had a lot of good players.
Yeah.
And I think what really was the worst part was we just didn't really ever have a quarterback while y'all was there.
Yeah.
To bring it all together. We was playing with Zach. Shout out Zach the boys.
Zach was a running back, not a quarterback.
Yeah,
So
but they was trying to force him to play some stuff that he really wasn't. He's 5'9".
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
He
But some of the fearlessness I got because I played as a freshman. I started as a sophomore.
Mm-hmm.
He was there the whole time.
Word.
Starting, it was big 6'4", 250 white guys. They was moving him around. He was still the same position. So like he was that. Troy Palomalo.
Yeah.
You ever seen a little? Because he might be a little smaller than what he was in college.
I was basically the
school.
same body type in high school.
He was the same body frame.
Right.
It just looked different, maybe,
Yeah,
because the shoulders was a little higher. The stomach was a little flatter.
Hey, that's what 34
happens
is.
when
You
you
know what I'm saying?
Like, no homo. You know what I'm saying? I ain't judging.
Look, that's why I wore black today.
I was literally chopping it up with someone at the bar the other day. And they
It's
said
like
the same
a
shit. You used to be
little
so
vehicle.
ripped in high school. Like, you were ripped, bro. And it's just like, all right.
Bro, it was like a little vehicle driving down the field, like
Yeah.
just ready to knock somebody's head off.
That's probably my biggest strength, like you said, the not being afraid. Like that's one thing that I loved about football is I could go and just release some aggression and I just be like, all right, I'm ready to hit somebody.
Man.
For sure, I'm ready to go and I'm putting everything into him. He's gonna feel me.
Belt
They're
to
gonna feel
ass.
me. For sure, they're gonna feel me.
Belt to ass. All right, so I do want to ask. So what are y'all doing now as careers? Like you went to college. Y'all both graduated high school. Okay, no kids.
Not yet.
Okay, we're gonna get into the kids
We
stuff
gonna
in a
get
second. What did y'all do after college? Not like directly after, but what are you doing now to like make a living, earn a living? Like what's been sustainable for you as a 30-year-old man?
Me first?
Yeah. Look at you.
So right now, I have a 9 to 5. I'm a banker.
Okay.
For a certain credit union in the vicinity of the Minnesota. I don't know if I want to mention them on here, but if you need a loan or anything, come holler at me. I give loans, credit cards, full service business banking accounts, anything you need. That's my 9 to 5, pays the bills. And then I'm also a DJ. I own my own business. I have my own business, Purple Hearts with the Z, entertainment.com. Check me out, Purple Hearts INT on IG.
You gotta send me that link so I can tag it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely do that. That's my passion. That's what I love. I love being in business for myself. I love not having a boss. That's one thing, like I in myself has always been a leader, a boss within myself. So I hate having someone telling me what I need to do, what I should do, goals I need to hit. So I know that in the near future, I will be DJing full time. I love that. I love the energy I get from the crowd. I love how creative I can be. Like just yesterday, I did the Winter Beer Dabbler, which is this big event at the State Fair.
That's what's going on there.
Yeah.
I just thought, I was like, what the hell is going on
It
at
was
the
crazy.
State
Yeah,
Fair?
there's probably like between 7,000 to 10,000 people that show up. There's like over 50 breweries. You pay to get in. They give you a cup. You can try all the beers at the different breweries. And me and my buddy DJ Chime were DJing there. We DJ pretty much all day. It was pretty sick. It was a good vibe. I love that experience. I love just getting the energy from the people. That's what really gives me that passion and that drive to do DJing. I've always been in like...
You ain't never did no modeling or nothing like that. I'm sorry to cut you off, but like... I'm sure people gonna ask. Like, no, pause. You know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all say nowadays, I'm 32. I got 4 kids.
You gotta
I got 4 kids. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't never did no like, I got a homeboy, his name is Lance, and he from Apple Valley, if anybody know him. We in our 30s, he's like an underwear model. He does like runway modeling. He's modeled Yeezys before. Like he not signed with anybody at the moment.
Yeah,
but like
he just does independent.
Yeah, like guys that are like attractive, like that's something that's like out there now.
So,
like we can,
When I was younger in high school, I dabbled in it a little bit.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, when I was younger in high school, I was trying to observe, like I was mature, but I was trying to observe that over masculineness. And within modeling, there's a lot of femininity, a lot of homophobic type of things that happen within that.
Yeah.
And so that kind of pushed me away from it. Because at that point in time, I was just trying to be like the biggest, most macho dude, that type of thing. So I didn't really like that type of where the modeling was, because it's like
socially it wasn't accepted.
Yeah, at that point in time. Now that I'm a lot older, I love my LGBT community for sure.
Doing that type of thing, so like.
Pitt was a thing.
But that's from the outside perspective. When you're doing it, like the shows, it takes
building it up.
Yeah,
gotcha.
The behind the scenes, especially doing runway, because you're changing like behind, like everyone's watching you, and there's
you're
a lot
there.
Of, like, you gotta like, there's a lot.
You're exposed in front of a lot of people in the LGBT community, and it can come off in a way if somebody on the outside looking in is looking at you, and they like, why are these people that's not straight around you? And I ain't got nothing against gay people, straight people. I believe you should be and feel to be however you want to be and feel. I just thought you a handsome man, so like, you know,
for sure.
I've been knowing you for years, so you know what I'm saying.
I'm
no homo.
Feels
so
good
like,
to hear. Yeah, for real. I've always embraced that, and like I said, I looked into it, but that just pushed me away from it. And I wish I would have got into it more. Yeah. Because there was this point in time. My junior, it was right before I went into high school. I went to the Pride Parade in Chicago with my mom. Because shout out to my mom, she's LGBTQ, she's lesbian / bi, I don't really know what she calls herself. But she's married to a woman for quite a while, but not anymore. Yeah, so
that taught me something.
Yeah, that was before she was really open and with it. So we went to the Pride Parade, and then while I was there, these recruiters, they were like a modeling / movie agency. They picked me out of the crowd, like, oh my God, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful. We want to put you in this movie. Took me and my mom all around the city, showed us like the high rise of this hotel. And they're like, oh yeah, you just got to come back and do this movie with us for like a month. And my mom was like, no, you have to go to school. You're going to school. You're doing that. You're not coming over here. So a lot of things can transition, and the trajectory of my life could have been a lot differently, because I could have been seen in that type of way. But my mom was always like, no, you're doing the education. You're getting your education. You're doing this. If you want to do that later in life, you can. But you're doing this.
Right. Do you feel as if that's something that you might have been interested in indulging in at the time?
Yeah. I was excited about it. I really wanted to, and I was really mad at my mom about her not allowing me to do it. Because I was like, whatever, school can come and like I'm gonna be cool with that, but like opportunity only knocks. It don't keep knocking. You know what I'm saying? That was a huge opportunity, and that could have opened so many different things. And I could have been like, exactly, making money off of that and not having to worry about my education. But I'm happy that she did do that, because I'm a well-rounded individual now. But like,
do you feel doing that like you were just trying to model, or were you trying to like get into acting and everything as well?
At that point in time, I was just trying to do the modeling, but that's because I never had tried acting. That was going to be my first.
Bro ain't good at acting. He's not a good liar. He's not a good liar.
It can be taught. It can be taught.
He's very smart, so I'm sure he can learn anything. He would have to be a very honest role. That's
we'll play something.
So super close to his direct character.
That's what they want. I remember in the role that they wanted me to do, it was like the cool kid in high school.
Okay,
so exactly.
Something easy.
Yeah.
Got
sure.
you.
So,
just be fancy and like. Got you. Okay, I got a question. Last question, and then I'm gonna go to bro. Looking at how some of the child stars did come out or do come out. Especially the ones our age range, the Raven Simones, the Corey, I can't remember his real name, Orlando Brown. You know, some of those guys, looking at their lifestyle, life story, how some of it played out, looking at the Netflix, Disney Channel, you know,
that's a huge
series, is looking back. Would you still, like, now as a grown man, are you like, man, I still would have did it because nobody would have did XYZ to me? Or are you like, nah, I'm glad I dodged that bullet?
Yeah, reflecting back, I'm glad I dodged that bullet. And again, shout out to my mom. Mom Dukes always put me on the right plane, the right trajectory. I dedicate a lot of my success academically to Mom Dukes for sure, because she always was like, you got to get your academics, you got to do school. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is the foundation. You need to know your education, and then with that, you can choose to do whatever you want with that.
You got that fallback.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really happy, and I'm thankful to have the mom I have, because she's been my rock for since as long as I can remember. My dad has been in my life, but he was in and out. He was there. He was good to see him, but he was always just trying to be like that player, that cool dude, like, you know what I mean? But my mom has been the one that put me on track with the education and being the foundation of the man that I am.
Okay. So as a man in your 30s, you know, what type of lifestyle choices have you made as of now to like lead you up to here? What type of businesses and everything?
Oh man,
Hobbies.
there was a lot actually that kind of changed the trajectory of my life. Like, so I'll start when I first got to Minnesota, right? Because Chicago obviously just wasn't the move.
Yeah.
The violence was getting closer to Markham. We were like south of the city. My dad stayed in the city, so it was too much. So we got here, and the building that we were living in, the 4-H program was in there. So most people don't know about what 4-H is. They probably think that's like a bunch of country people raising cattle and whatever. Yeah. But they had an urban youth leadership side.
What is 4-H? What does that stand
for? It stands for Head, Heart, Hands, Health. So it's a urban youth development. Well, it's a youth development organization, but we were in the urban youth development since we were obviously in the cities.
Right.
And Erica Gates, shout out to her. She was our like first mentor. Put me and my sister in leadership positions where we're running after school programs for our peers and people who are even older than us.
Yeah.
You know, so that right there kind of changed everything. And then I'd say, obviously, just with like being rooted, like with church and everything, like even if you, because I will say I definitely have gone away from it, but starting to get back. But you know, like where your roots are. You know, at the end of the day, when you're struggling and everything, you're like, damn, like where am I gonna go from here? Which job do I take, or which path do I take? You know, like you can buckle down, you can pray about it, and kind of try to get that clarity.
What do you do for a living? If you don't,
So I work for a nonprofit called Small Sums.
Okay.
So we help individuals who are like homeless or housing insecure. So once they get their new job,
I like how you worded that, insecure.
Yes. They no longer say homeless. It's housing insecure or unhoused is the PC thing. But once they get a new job, we provide what they need to start. So uniforms, tools, we help pay union dues, just kind of help pay for different classes, just kind of everything. And then I'll work at a bar on the side. So kind of all of that. But all of that to say, like from before, is that I was put in a position to always want to help people.
Right.
No matter what I did. So I was a camp counselor for years of my life. I've always wanted to impact just somebody's lives. If I can impact one person's life in this world, then I'm happy. And it's crazy because just last week, one of my campers was in there and he was a little lit, you know what I'm saying? But he like thanked me. He was like literally thank you for everything that you've done. It's like you changed my life,
right?
You and your sister. And his friends are like, no, he's getting emotional, and he's like, no, he's like, stop, like for real, like y'all don't understand this. This dude showed us that he cared like about our community and everything. We were living on Barclay at the time, so it's just like those little things help move me to where I am now, which is working for a nonprofit or always doing customer service. I always want to make people smile, make people happy, bring my energetic, just feel to everything that I do. So I feel
That's what's up, and that's actually something that I noticed about you. In the Black community, we sometimes get tagged as like lazy or like low vibrational sometimes. I've never got that vibe from either one of y'all. And sometimes the Black community read that wrong. Is that something that you've ever dealt with? Like the Black community, personally, let me say, like I sing, I used to praise dance in the fucking church. You know, I still go to church. Like I do things that aren't traditional in the Black community. You know, like when I was 21, you know, when I would get dressed, I remember my grandfather telling me when I was a young kid, I got an Uncle Teddy, never been in jail. He sold drugs his whole life. I'm sorry, Uncle Teddy.
Dry snitching.
Sold drugs his whole life. Never been in prison, right? Never been in jail, never been arrested. And I was infatuated as hell with the fact that he was like this type of guy and he's never been looked at as a target, you know, from at least the police, you know, and the reason why my grandfather told me was because his aesthetic, like he used to dress older and more sophisticated. So when he would be in certain places, it would look like he would be different. And especially in cities like Chicago or Detroit, you got people like the Nation of Islam, you know, and stuff like that walking around church, you know. what's those people called that go door to door and
Jehovah's Witness.
Jehovah's Witness. So he would dress up like almost like a businessman in a suit, almost damn near, or like turtlenecks and stuff like that, and it would look like he
turtleneck vibes.
It would look like he a business guy, like an insurance guy or somebody walking through some of these neighborhoods, and that worked for him. So one of the things that I did when I was early on going out is I used to dress up a little older, and young dudes would look at me, and a lot of people, like not gay dudes, gay guys would not approach me. But there was one guy.
I get approached by gay guys
at
the bar all the time. I take it as a compliment. I'm like, listen, I'm not rocking with what you're rocking with, but I will take a compliment. If you get hit on by women and dudes, then you're doing something right.
Exactly. Let me clarify. I rarely get hit on by anybody, even animals. You know what I mean? I got like an unapproachable aura sometimes. You know what I mean? Especially when I'm out places. Socially, sometimes I have an unapproachable aura. In my 30s, I'm becoming a little bit more introverted. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay. But early on, I was super smiley, approachable, and it was a lot different. But I'm just taking life a little differently. So again, I don't. And early on, I didn't really get approached by gay guys. There was one gay guy that approached me when we was in high school, and he was like, "Oh, you cute, you been?" And that was at the time where
it was not as accepted at that time.
That was at the time where
that's cool back then.
So I was like, I was damn near ready to.
He was ready to fight him.
Let's say he didn't speak to me again the rest of the year. You know what I mean? And he was friends with my girlfriend, which was the craziest part. So he was really saying that as a compliment to her.
Right.
I just took it disrespectful just off the bat. You know what I mean? And now in adulthood, again, I don't get approached, but I have my girl now that I live with and plan on marrying. Thank you.
Love that.
She got a couple gay friends. What is the correct? Is this gay?
It depends on what they call themselves. There's so many different classifications. Gay, how they identify. Lesbian, bi, like.
There's a couple people that identify as LGBTQ. Let's say that, and then the thing that bothered me when I was a kid is that I didn't necessarily know how to read somebody from that community, because their personality traits are different than what I'm normal to me, what I grew up to. Somebody that's overly friendly with you is somebody that like you. In my experience, the LGBT community, a lot of the males are just overly friendly just by trade.
Yeah.
Not saying that that's how they are.
They're very just extra.
Well, they do that to identify themselves as well. I get that they're trying to be like, nigga, I'm not you. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. But at the same time, it was something that was like a little like, it was uncharted territory. It was unfamiliar for me. I didn't know how to read it. It's like, nigga, are you trying to be friendly to me? Are you trying to be shooting your shot? Are you just talking just to talk and express yourself? Because, I know women that express themselves like that. Yeah. And they're just talking. I've had a girl that just talked to me, sat there in the bar, and I thought the whole time she was shooting her shot. And at the end, I asked for the number and everything. And she like, nigga, I'm married. You know what I'm saying? You just sitting here. I'm eating my food. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly.
And I've read that wrong. So I understand how I can read a man wrong in the same dynamic who might identify as a lady. Yeah. So that was my fear. That's been my insecurity.
Do you feel more comfortable around like gay men now? Like if you're in a room, it's a party, and like there's gay men there. It's not a gay party.
I have gay friends to this day now, and I'm okay with saying that. Like I got a gay stepbrother. He's trans actually. Let me. I have a gay trans stepsister. Who identifies as a girl right now. We not as super close, but we grew up together. We grew up super close. We shared a father. And part of my insecurities was because I was insecure for my stepdad. I didn't want him to know that he had a gay stepson. And then once he did know, it was a big identifying insecurity for him. So I just carried on the weight of the guy in my household. I just, he was the law. I just followed the law, And then as a man, again, I never, no gay dude ever disrespected me. Nobody ever came up and grabbed my ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't, obviously, to them, give off the vibe. At least not in my experience in my 32 years. So like they respect me for what I am. So when I do see gay people, I got gay clients. I just had a gay dude in here. It was crazy as fuck. I'm doing a tattoo on him. And I'm doing it like damn near a tramp stamp. He getting a tattoo on his back. Facts. And it's just me and him. Y'all see the setting.
That's what's up.
And y'all see, I'm telling y'all my experience with it. I'm telling y'all my experience with it beforehand.
You can picture it.
So like to like tenfold to this moment, and in the moment I'm telling him like, bro, I want to get you and your friends on the pod and ask y'all all these uncomfortable questions that I'm sure other men have, but I've been uncomfortable my whole life.
This is a black man.
Yeah, he black.
So that's a whole other thing is being in the black community and being gay and growing up that way. That's
way on from
that trauma. I don't
he
even
was one of those dudes that said that he wasn't like touched or traumatized to become this. He felt like he was born and experience made him just choose up, and he chose one thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So obvious. In other words, like you said, he probably was born that way in some people's eyes. I'm not finna speak for him or nobody else, but again, we sitting here, I'm doing this tattoo, little tramp stamp for him, and as we talked, I'm like, you should get your homeboys here, homegirls, whoever you prefer, and we should have a little conversation. I'm gonna ask you all the questions that I've been uncomfortable with the LGBT community. Maybe it'll help me and other people
get more comfortable.
Yeah, way more comfortable, because I'm not uncomfortable, but I'm not comfortable to the point where I can have a bro conversation with you one-on-one at the bar, and I'm gonna tell my girl about it. Right. You know, that's red flags to her, because first off, that's uncharted territory for her. Yeah. Because I've never had gay friends like that I'm individually kicking it with. Yeah. And then like,
for sure.
Again, like he said, when he was going to model, you know, being outside with a person in that community ain't necessarily everybody's cup of tea. So like, it's something you got to get used to.
Sure. So I was in theater, so it was like,
it was
very similar. Like you're very comfortable with it, and that's what made me be open enough to like sing, praise dance, like all that type of stuff. Yeah. It's just be able to express yourself. There's still some stuff that like obviously around the homies you're like, oh well you know, kind of like that. But at a certain point, I was like, no, man, I like to dance. Yeah. So what? I like to sing.
Like you just came in, nigga, I was listening to Hamlet. Nah, facts.
This is who I am.
Sure. So, I think around like 21, 22 is around the time where I honestly started to be able to because I started my business around that time, and you can't deny nobody because of their sexuality preference or whatever. So that was when I really just started getting them here, and I'm talking to each of them one-on-one. And the biggest thing that when I was a kid, I used to be like, well, gay people are gay, because I've seen gay people with kids, right? Like. Are they teaching it? Because you teach your kids to be like you. You know what I mean? Walk like you. I remember Kanye got a song. He said, when I walked in the snow, it snowed one day. It was so big. I walked in the snow. My kids were so afraid because they couldn't see my footprints. And he was like, don't worry, son. Just follow my footsteps. You know what I mean? So walk in the steps that I make. You know what I mean? Sort of same speak what I think about kids. Like my kids, somebody else's kids. You want your kids to follow your footsteps. So in the LGBT community, my biggest concern was like, do you want your children to be gay? And like I get almost unequivocally no. You know, even from my own blood, my brother, he told me, he was like, man, if I do have kids, I've had people harass me. I've been assaulted. I've been stalked, all because of my sexual preference. Not because I did nothing to nobody, not because I'm looking at nobody, just because I decided to wear heels in a purse, and that right there softened my heart, because if anything happened to my brother, I'm going to feel so terrible. You know what I mean? And we ain't even got the closest relationship, but at the end of the day, like, that's a person that I hold close, and I feel like if I can feel like that about him, then I should be able to have the same compassion for everybody that holds the same standards about their life, because, a decision we make don't make us. And that's kind of, that's kind of where I stand. So, how do y'all experience with being a man and not necessarily being the standard African-American man? How does that kind of, has it ever...
What do you mean the standard? Like what society would have us be
like at as a standard? Not even society, the black urban community society. Like, we all got brothers or, people that we in the homeboys in the neighborhood. You don't gangbang, do you?
Never have.
No. I was affiliated.
Yeah, likewise. Like I used to claim Philly back in the day, but nobody ever jumped me in.
Yeah.
I wasn't finna go shoot nobody, rob nobody. You know what I'm saying?
I did some illegal activity, but nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
Talk about on here.
Like, little slight shit, nothing to get me indicted, but you know what I'm saying? So like we all dip and dabble, but you know, just like you're a banker, you're a social
worker, bartender.
Social worker. You know what I mean? I do tattoos and I consider myself a self-appointed counselor. You know what I mean? So like just the life choices we chose, you know, at this age, a lot of guys our age aren't necessarily making these choices in the urban community coming from our background.
Absolutely.
So like, has that ever tagged you sort of like the LGBT community? That's why
I've been tagged Uncle Tom more times than I can count.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
like whitewashed or you know, or a nerd or something like that. Like he was like, "Look, I'm nerdy, but I'm still cool."
I think it's just, and you probably experience the same. It's like when people say, "Oh, you talk white." Well, what is talking white? I speak grammatically correct. Yeah, just because I sound. It's like we want to be men who sound educated. We want to change the narrative.
Has anybody ever accused you of being feminine?
Yeah, absolutely.
All the time for me. That's why they do beyond me.
Look at this. Look at how skinny our jeans are right now, bro.
I ain't too much. I ain't too far away. Hey, you know what's crazy?
He's dressed the same today, literally. First time.
Different colors.
Low key, I'm liking the all black narrative though. I wear all black on all of my pods though. So like, I don't know if y'all ever paid attention, but that was the thing. So what? That was why I asked that. Like, what are your thoughts about like that tag on guys like us?
Being like looked at as more feminine, or just like looking at as like not fitting into that African American, what you would think that is, or I guess.
Yes, both.
Okay.
Yes.
So I never really cared about people, what they thought about me and how they looked at me as far as like on a feminine aspect or masculine. Probably a little bit more like probably like freshman, sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
Because you're still trying to be cool, you're still trying to have people like you. But as I progressed, like I always had haters. Like I always had people who didn't like me, whether it's because I was that fly guy. I always wore clothes that stood out. That's probably one of the biggest thing to me, along with my hair and just me looking pretty, that people thought that I was more feminine. But as you said, when you get to know me, when you talk to me, you know it ain't none of that. You might look at me and see, oh man, is he gay? Is he like this? Is he going that way? But then when you take the time to speak to me and look at me, I'm really actually a bro. Like, I've always been a bro my whole life. I've always been into sports. I've never been nowhere near close to that feminine presenting. I guess you can say I look a little bit more feminine presenting because what I choose. And I like looking good and nice and clean. But I've never really cared about what anybody thought of me because I'm just going to do me. I'm going to be me. And I'm going to express myself how I want to.
I do want to ask, the last time I saw you, and this ain't a jab or slight or nothing. This is just speaking on what we speaking on. I saw you had your nails painted.
Yeah.
Is that something you comfortable?
Yeah. So
right.
So painting my nails is just an expression of like being fly to me, honestly.
Right.
What I look at is my favorite part when we talk about fashion. My favorite part of the outfit are the accessories.
Right. I was just about to say that. You were a jacket guy back in the day. Like,
for sure.
I
always need like an accessory. I need a chain. I need something on my wrist. I need something. That's my favorite part of my outfit.
Shoes and jacket.
Yeah, exactly. How I look at it is like you can have just a regular black on black, regular minute colors, but then you spice it up with some accessories, a scarf, whether it be a scarf, a chain, whether a different type of little like hoodie or a little like sweater vest or something, and that's going to change the whole fit. So with painting the nails, like that was just to me just a new accessory, and that's probably I recently started doing that within like the last like 2 years, and I don't do it all the time.
They're not painting now.
Yeah, I just do it like when I'm about to go do something, when I'm about to be seen or something, you know, like that type of thing.
Oh, that's what's up. Hold on, time out. So he said, hold on.
That's intentional.
He said, when I'm about to be seen, I do it. So like you want people to see your expression.
Yeah. So when I look at fashion, when I look at doing something, I look at it like, so there's sometimes when I just put something on where I'm just like, cool, I'm chilling. But then there's sometimes where I'm like y'all gonna see me. Y'all gonna see me. Y'all gonna look at me. Y'all gonna walk by and be like, dang, who is that?
Right.
It depends on what I'm fitting on, what I'm putting on, what I'm wearing, and how I'm doing and how I'm presenting myself and what I'm going to do. That in my head is like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and I want people to see me.
Yeah.
I want to stand out. That's one thing I always did my whole life. I always dared to be different, and I always never fit in.
Is fashion something that is more unisex for you then?
Yeah. Like I've definitely worn female clothes before. I've definitely worn different things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like female jacket, maybe like a bigger shirt or something, or like a belt. You know, something like that. And yeah, like my fashion sense is probably the biggest reason why people think that I'm like either bi or a little bit feminine.
I'm finna probably shout somebody out or maybe shit on somebody, but I remember back in like 2007.
I'm gonna shout you out and shit on you, man.
I don't know if you were a BP boy, and I talk about Brooklyn Park, but if you were a backpack boy back in 07, 010, y'all were definitely wearing female clothes, like Wet Seal.
The jerkin movie.
Yeah, the jerkin. Anybody that was in there, the Neo.
Sure.
Those were the skinniest of jeans.
For sure.
Before they were selling men clothes, y'all were in there buying clothes.
And no one really want to admit that. I don't care.
And that's honestly really why I'm asking some of these questions, because like I'm never trying to put no. This is called the university, bro. I asked you what that was for a reason. Like it's to educate somebody. So me being ignorant to the fact that, you know, people in certain communities are accepting and certain people aren't. I'm a straight man and you one of my good friends. You know what I mean? And I don't give a fuck if you got your nails painted or not. The last time I saw you was your birthday. You know what I mean? So like, and I was trying to go out with you. You know what I mean? The only reason why I couldn't because my girl was like, nigga, you go out, we leaving.
And where did we go for my birthday? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
Gay 90s.
Okay.
I was going to guess Ground Zero. Hey, Ground Zero is crazy.
That's crazy. I like going there on Halloween.
Yeah,
that's insane.
You know what's crazy is I've never been in the 90s. I always hear good things about it. And you know what? To get my insecurities completely over, I might go with you one day, bro. Just to get completely out of my...
It's not a Saturday.
It's not a Saturday. Work day.
Work day.
But the funny thing about it is, I went to the 90s with a chick.
No, he went to the 90s with like several chicks.
Yes.
Yeah. Bro, I will get into that. Hold on. Okay, so back to the feminine stuff. So has that ever been a period or a time where that word impacted you a lot from other people?
Nah, honestly, like it. When you're younger, yes, because
in adulthood.
Okay, so yeah, I was going to say in adulthood, no. I would say once I started working at Savvy Formwear back in the day, so right when I came home from Luther, I pretty much started at Savvy. And that taught me everything that I needed to know because I was thinking more about what I was wearing. You have to dress up every single day.
Yeah.
So now I'm getting more into fashion, more into menswear. One of my coworkers, her boyfriend, Ryan, fucker. He's like the nicest asshole you'll ever meet. But every time he's like, God, you're so gay. Like, you're so feminine. Just because of, like, how tight my pants are or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, I look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm never worried about what someone else thinks now. Like, and especially in adulthood. I'm willing to step out and, like, try new things for fashion now. You know what I'm saying? So the word feminine is, I'm comfortable with the feminine parts of myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think as a man, you have to be. The ones who aren't, those are the ones who you see crash out because they don't know where to place their anger or nothing like that. So.
And that's hard too because us growing up as men, especially having a father, I know one of the biggest things my dad always told me, you can't cry. Don't do that. Why are you crying? Don't be a girl. Don't be a baby.
That's feminine.
That's feminine. You can't show that. You don't express that. But now that I'm older, why? We all cry.
Yeah.
We all have multiple facets to our personality. We all have some masculinity, some femininity. It's about how we choose to present it to the world.
I think as men, that's the most masculine thing we can do is like especially be in a masculine setting where you create a safe space for men and you have those talks, and if you cry, like, you have men that are gonna back you up, not just be like, nigga, why are you crying? But be like, bro, like, it's okay. Like, allow yourself to feel that. because I think that's healing. And that's something that the black community don't do.
Well, the black community does do it. We do it at a very poor ratio.
And yes,
we judge people.
We're just now getting comfortable with it.
And you're aware of this. Like in the black community, when something happens to a child, almost unequivocally, everybody feels a way towards the perpetrator who's done whatever toward that child. You know what I mean? So like, women included. I think it's the gray areas, like, because younger girls aren't considered women yet. Young boys aren't considered men or aren't considered children. So I feel like it's those gray areas where everybody's just like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it kind of blurs lines. But I do agree with you. To a certain extent. What I will say is my personal experience, the feminine thing, kind of like you just said, one of the most important parts of being a man is making people feel safe and secure and able around you.
Absolutely.
You know, I got 4 boys. They're all under the age of 5. 3 of them are under the age of 5. Excuse me. I got a 12-year-old, and the 3 right now are vulnerable to everything. You know, anything that I expose them to. And
they're sponges.
The way I judge men and women and everybody is, are you safe? Are you safe around women and children first? And then secondly, do they feel safe around you? If my kids don't feel safe around you, I 9 times out of 10 can't befriend you. And it's not because you're not a good friend. It's because at some point in time, I'm going to want my children to be friends with your children. You know, and my family to be family with your family.
Yeah.
And if they can't feel safe, then I'm going to have to cut it short just to right there. You know, and then whenever we see each other, we can embrace, but I can't be your friend.
Yeah.
Because it's important for me to be able to keep you safe. Like, my grandpa is a dog. He told me, J. Cole said this. He said, humble enough when there'll be nobody to check you, you'll be able to check yourself. Right? So when you don't have a friend to be able to be like, hey, bro, you tripping? You should be able to
realize.
And like you said, the black community lack a lot of awareness, especially when
accountability is what the word is that we lack.
Right. That part. So I do have a lot of friends that I consider safe enough to trust their judgment. So I am humble enough to allow my friends to check me. One time I got in an argument with my lady and I put my friend on the phone just so he can hear me. I'm like, listen to this. Tell me if I'm tripping or not, because sometimes she feel like I'm going overboard. So I left him there, put him on the phone, and then when we got done, I'm like, so bro, what you think? I'm happy. Right? Yeah. I told her
I got somebody on my side.
He like, yeah, bro, you say that shit to my sister, I'm coming over there and knocking your ass out right now. I'm like, what? I'm confused because this is my 20-year best friend, you know? And he like, yeah, bro, that's us. You tweaking. I'm damn near on my way over there. I'm like, what, nigga, what? I'm literally like, bitch, pull up. That was my ego talking, but when I really had to sit back and hear what he was saying, he considered me family. And if my woman that I plan on marrying, that is his sister. Yeah. And if I can't respect her, then I'm disrespecting him. And if he feel like I'm overstepping boundaries, and if I consider him my brother, then I give him the respect to say that to me. You know what I mean? So humble enough where you be able to have, if nobody else will be able to check you, you can check yourself to let them, to have the awareness to, you know, call yourself out on when.
Let me ask you this. In those situations, and this is something that I had to learn, and I hope that you've already learned this, but maybe we'll see. In those situations, when it is a heated argument, are you able to be self-aware enough to say, you know what, I can't have this conversation right now because of how I feel, and so can we please put this on pause, let me go cool off, and then come back and then talk about it, because it gives you time to think more, gives her time to think more, and the things that you say when you're pissed off and angry and you're in a relationship, you hit below the belt sometimes, but you can't take that shit back. You can't put the toothpaste back. You can't. So before you say something that's gonna damage your relationship,
take that thought process.
Be like, time out. We both need this time out. Let me just take a walk. You take a walk. So have you reached that point yet?
We're pretty similar in our reaction process because we've butted heads before, and we kind of impromptu. You know what I mean? Like I'm very impromptu on the scene. I'm very well at adjusting on the fly. And I read the room well. So when my bro said that, and right away I adjusted something in how I approached the conversations with my girl, and it didn't have to take me stopping the conversation the next time and readjusting and taking a step back. It was just him saying that, me looking at the conversation and how he would have said it, why he would have said it, and then the next time I was just asserting my own interest in it, and I'm like, okay, now because I do want to get the best quality conversation out of it, and I understand that somebody that has my best interest also believes that isn't the best way I can do it. I just changed it myself. It wasn't nothing that I had to stop. And I'm not one of those hot-headed guys that just fly off the top with, you know.
Yeah,
I can't
crash out.
Yeah, no, I can't be. We all can be. But I'm not. No, I'm more witty than antagonizing. So like I might say something to spark you to actually indulge in the conversation versus to get you to leave it. You know, and that's where I was at with it. So that's kind of how I took it and ran with it. I do want to kind of wrap this up because I did want to make this a quick one. We do a part 2 if y'all interested.
Absolutely.
Let's go step for step with the DJing because you do DJing as well.
Yeah, well I haven't in a little bit, but I do mostly like wedding DJing, which is completely different.
I do wedding DJ too.
Oh, word. But do you feel like it's different vibe than just like a club or like
100%? Yeah,
it's complete. You have to be very structured and
I seen him on Facebook like on a little snippet, 30 seconds, and that shit looked like DJ Khaled. It was crazy. Like he's controlling the crowd. It was so dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we can touch on that. So a wedding DJ, wedding vibes, curating a wedding, like you said, is really structured. It's really timely. You have to hit these certain points. They send you certain songs that you need, especially if you're doing ceremony and reception.
Oh.
You have to do all that. You have to make sure the mics are together. You have to make sure the event flows smoothly. You're not just playing
the
music.
MC.
You're the MC. You're the DJ, and you're a planner a lot, or a coordinator a lot of the time. Making sure,
because they're moving off of your beat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so
I do got a question. What equipment was necessary in order to start DJing right away?
For sure. So
I'll ask you that, and then I'll ask you another question.
Yeah, to start DJing like off of my own. So I'll get into a little background of how I started DJing. So I started DJing with a bigger company. It was called Bella Gala.
Love Bella Gala.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I started with Bella Gala. I started with them in 2019, right before the pandemic. So like July of 2019. Okay. Around there, and then wedding season is the summertime in Minnesota. The biggest time for weddings is September.
Yeah, that's what summer, fall.
Yeah, people usually the weather likes to cooperate, of course. And so with Bella Gala, I started off with them because they provide you all the equipment and they give you a little training and they send you to your gigs.
Gotcha.
But with them, they're taking a huge cut. So,
like what percentage? Like
80, 90%.
Like 75, 80%.
Because, so typical wedding, like if I go out and do a wedding, ceremony, reception, I'm charging at least $1,500. Bella Gala pays you, when you first start, $100 and something. Per show. Yeah. And they're charging at least $1,000.
At least. So the company I started with, it was Soundwave Entertainment. It was a smaller company, and he paid me $250 a show, and then after 10 shows, I got $300.
I remember when you started doing the 300 shows. I remember the weddings. That was when you was like doing them bitches every weekend.
I was in
because you was building them. I remember that. Okay, so once you got into Bella Gala, and where were you?
Soundwave Entertainment.
Midwest
Sound tried to get me.
Midwest Sound's a big one too.
Midwest Sound tried to get me.
What got you? Because you do them independently now.
Yeah. So
Did you hold on 1 second? I'm sorry. Did you ever get to be independent outside of a company?
No, I wanted to, but life just kind of didn't go that way.
Gotcha.
But now he's trying to get me back into it. So he's like, I revamped the company. We were talking, $750 a show.
Yeah, that changed things.
And I was like,
yeah, for sure.
Is the money better now?
Yeah, so now that let me just go back to like my foundations. So yeah, Bella Gala started out with them 2019. Boom, pandemic happened, didn't really do anything. Started back up with them in like 2021-ish, around there. And then I just started getting more techniques under my system, learning the wave. And I'm looking at this, I'm like, because some of my other buddies that I knew were DJing, started getting a network with them. They're like, bro, you're a good DJ. Why don't you just get your own equipment? You're going to start, if you get your own, my other buddy, the dude I actually was DJing with yesterday, DJ Chime, he was the first one to be like, bro, once you get your equipment, I got gigs for you. I'm like, you know what? Fuck all this. I'm about to go get my own equipment. So I got all my stuff. It cost, not including my computer, a couple $1,000, probably like $3,000 for my speakers, my controller and everything, my mics I needed, my lights, everything to set it all up. And then, yeah, the rest is history. So I started doing my own thing probably in like 2022. And now I do all my own gigs. I'm no longer with any bigger companies. I do some gigs with a company that's based out of St. Cloud. He's called Mobile Impressions. So a lot of the weddings I do are out there in St. Cloud and like in the boonies, like Monticello and stuff like that. The only reason I work with him is because he paid me right. Minimum he pays me is at least $9,000 to $1,000 for a wedding. And so like I'm to the point now where I am only gonna do a gig independent, like if it's gonna pay me. Like I'm too good of a DJ to not
get $100.
Yeah, so exactly.
$300
even after a few years with Bella Gala, the max they were paying me for a wedding was like $400 or $500 around there because they take taxes out because you're W-2 with them, and so that's and I was like one of their top DJs because they have different levels of DJs. There's like Echelon Studio and Associate, and I was like the top DJ, and they're only paying me $500, and they're charging like $2,000 to $3,000.
Yeah.
How often? Working for a company, let me ask you, because you were doing just weddings.
Just weddings.
How often would you be booked for a weekend, or how often would you be booked per month?
Summertime, shit. I was trying to get in. There was some I did Friday, Saturday. Sometimes I did like a random Thursday wedding, and then a Friday, Saturday, like because it's. If they book on like a Thursday or a Sunday, it's a lot cheaper. So you do get some of those just like they're trying to save whenever. It's like, oh, can you go do this? And
so roughly like 8 to 12 a week.
No, a month.
Or a month.
So you usually do like 2 to 3 gigs a week.
2 to 3 gigs a week. Yeah. And then the thing is, when you're there, like you have at a wedding, there's other people there who are engaged. So you're not only just doing their best for them, but you're trying to book more shows, right? And so that was the thing that actually made us fall out with the DJs. There was one specific show that I met with them at least 4 or 5 times. Yeah.
And they specifically asked for you and he did it?
He did it.
God
he took
damn
it. And so the dude texted me like, Eurell, he was like, Eurell, what the fuck? Like, this ain't what we paid for. You know what I'm saying? Like, where the fuck are you? I was like, it's not my equipment, it's not my company. My hands are literally tied. Dude's name is TJ. I still got his number and his Snapchat friends. I swear to God.
TJ, you're an asshole. You're an asshole. My boy's so good.
No. TJ was the groom. TJ was the groom.
Oh, okay. No,
TJ, you're not an asshole. Deuce was the
But Deuce, you're an asshole.
We had to come back to
wrong asshole. Sorry.
But he came and he was like, no, like it's too high class, but like you didn't put the time and effort in, like meeting with them, and like I built this, like the whole like set list and like the ideas that they might have thought were corny or that they thought were brilliant. It's like that's really not gonna work, but let's try this. You know what I'm saying? All of that, and
then he
for
came
a year,
and just tried to piggyback that money,
and then so that I was like, and I was like, I can't work for you anymore.
Is it something normal with businesses like that because there's no 401k? It's kind of almost Ponzi scheme-ish. I would say that just because there is no end goal.
I never thought about that.
You have to be the top, and then you get paid a lot. Then you hire a bunch of people under you that they basically pay you. Think about it. If somebody's paying you to do the work, that is money that's contracted directly to you. And for them to have you on contract, they telling you, you can do the work, but we're going to give you this for 90% of this.
Yeah.
That's a Ponzi scheme, bro. And
a little bit. But
is it normal for people to not last so long in businesses like DJing, or is it normal for people to kind of graduate to where you are? What is the normal?
I think it's normal to go your route.
Yeah, a lot of people typically take my route once you look at what money is to be made in it. because they don't want you to know that.
Right.
They don't let you know how much they're charging.
Right.
You have to get into it. You got to know. You got to start talking to people like,
You gotta talk
what?
to TJ.
Like, hold on, you're paying how much and I'm getting this? Like,
Yeah.
Wait, what? So if I get my equipment, I'm gonna pay this off in 2-3 gigs, and then now it's just money.
Yeah.
You know,
So did
once
you
you
lease
get
to
that
own
knowledge-
your equipment, or you bought it straight out?
No, I bought it straight out.
Is there a lease to own option?
I'm not sure. Like within the company, you're saying, or like with the business?
Anywhere, because you know music equipment is expensive, especially DJ equipment, the sound system and stuff. So
Probably
Probably like because I got myself from Guitar Center.
Guitar Center, I'm sure they got a lease to
Yeah,
own
yeah,
system
I'm
because
sure
they
they
do high school kids stuff. You know.
I know that you can rent equipment from there, but I would just buy myself because I already knew like by the point when I got to that point, like I already know I'm into it. This is what I like to do. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be making money off of this. I'm good at it, so let's get it.
Is there force? I don't know how often you're working, but let's say you're doing 2 to 3 a week, every month. How much money do you look at the end of that month if you're fully booked? Just off DJ.
So so let's put it like,
Independently.
so if I'm it all depends because my rate, like if I'm doing a gig that's not a wedding, it's between 100 to 150 an hour, and then I also charge 100 to 150 for setup and takedown. So that's my rate. So it depends on how long they want me, what they want me to do. But if I'm just in the peak wedding season, like September, summertime, 2 to 3 weddings a weekend, that's $3,000 to $4,000 in the weekend times 4. So that's what you're looking at.
Yeah.
You can make good money doing it for sure.
Very good.
That's
But
12, 16.
It's a very competitive field.
But
though.
it's very competitive,
That's the
and you're
thing.
not consistently getting that like that. You can, but it's just hard. There's just so many DJs out there. There's so much competitive. You'll give a customer a rate. Like I just had this. Someone hit me up because they saw me somewhere, and I be forgetting people to see. Oh, I saw you at this wedding. I saw you do this, and this. Boom. Gave them my quote for a wedding. My regular amount $1,500. I think that's a little bit too much. Okay, you don't want a good DJ then. I ain't the one for you.
Hey.
That's how I look at it. You want someone to just put on a playlist, hit some buttons. Okay, cool.
Are you
your wedding.
Are you looking to hire anybody? Because you say you don't want to keep doing banking. Are you looking to hire more people and like do this more full time and have people working under you?
Yeah, that's the overall goal. Like, basically with that company that I'm working with right now, Mobile Impressions, the owner, his name is Larry. He has, I think, 8 or 10 DJs under him. So I'm trying to like learn from him and grow like that. But like you're saying, it's really, really competitive. And I'm just starting to get the momentum like within this last year to put me into that position to not have to work my regular job and just DJ.
Yeah.
So the next step after that would be to have people under me, because that's the problem that you have. Like you'll be already have something booked, but then someone else wants you for that day, and then you're like, oh, well, I can hook you up with this person.
Got you.
And that's what happens a lot of times with the network of DJs that I have, is they're already be booked and like
So
already
they
free
just
this
put
way.
you on.
And then they'll be like, so we'll charge them like 1,000, and then I kick them like 100, 200 because they help me with that, and then I get the rest.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So something like that.
With DJing, how many years did you DJ?
It's like 4 years.
4 years. Would you say your experience and the connections you got out of it, do you feel like somebody that has the aspirations to becoming a DJ right now, do you feel like you would encourage them to go ahead and take that leap of faith and go into that type of field of business right now? Or do you think it's something? Okay, how about this? Here's a better question. Do you think you would encourage them to either go towards the company route right away and start off small, get your feet wet, build up your clientele, or start off
like independent,
get your own equipment, build your own up?
It depends on, honestly, I would say that it really depends on like how dedicated they are, but I don't think that going the company route is going to hurt anything. Say if you did the company route for 6 months, you're still learning from somebody that's more experienced than you. If you're just starting out, you're learning these things from somebody that's way more experienced, and they can teach you exactly how to run your entire board. You know what I'm saying? Like when to do certain drops or mixes or load in songs and everything, your timing, your etiquette at different venues, because you do have to have different etiquette. All those like little things, those intangibles, there's nothing wrong with learning from somebody, right? And having the goal and being very upfront with that person and being like, one day I do want to go out on my own. I think that will tell that person like, okay, now you want to be serious about this because you're going to invest in yourself.
Right.
So I think going the company route is, I think, a very good thing. I mean, if you want to experience the struggle, go right ahead and go independent first.
Right.
You definitely gonna feel it.
I agree 100%. Like, there's nothing wrong. I'm very happy with the route that I took. Like, I would say if you're gonna take that route, the company route, definitely have something else going on because you're not gonna get rich off of doing the company.
Absolutely.
What you're getting from that is experience.
Yeah.
That's gonna help build you up to where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're saying, there's nothing wrong with doing the independent route, but that's a lot of money up front to not have gigs to help pay that off.
Yeah.
So it's okay. A lot of people get a whole bunch of equipment. Like, oh, I'm going to be a DJ. And then, oh, man. Nah,
They just sit on the
because if you're doing the company route, they're providing
I know
all
a couple
the equipment.
guys sitting on the equipment.
Exactly. Yeah, the company route.
They're providing all the equipment. They're lining up your shows. They're setting you up for success.
And they want you to be busy because if you let them, because how it was with Bella, I don't know about yours, but it's a calendar and you can block off when you don't want to be. If you're not blocked off, they're going to book you Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because they're busy. Like Bella is a big company. They make millions the last time I was there.
They
Like
get $300 every day, every week.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, that's not bad for somebody young
Starting
too.
out, too.
Is there overall look or personality or style that is not for a DJ, for a good DJ? Because like you DJ, and both of y'all said everybody can't XYZ. Yeah. Some people do shit like this. Some people do shit like that. The way we do it, the collective people I fuck with. So obviously there's a good way and a bad way. And the way I'm listening to it. You even said Bella Gala, and then you said your company.
Soundwave Entertainment.
There we go.
They were smaller.
Soundwave. There we go. And then you said somebody else tried to get you. That also sounds like
Midwest Sound tried to get me.
That also sounds like a red flag.
Yeah, Midwest Sound was definitely trying to recruit me for a second.
Yeah, there we
I was like, ugh.
So, is there a style or sound or look specific that make you a good DJ that somebody should probably embrace and run with? Because obviously, the better you look, the better you could probably do with any job. I'm sure that's like in the public. You're a good looking dude too. So like, what worked for you like to get the Tom? What's the name? Tom? The dude, the TJ.
TJ.
Yeah, what worked for you to get a TJ?
So for me personally, like obviously meeting me, like I'm a very just energetic person, very charismatic, everything like that, right? So setting that groundwork because you meet with the couple before, but then also like when I'm DJing the wedding, yes, I'm very structured and everything, especially for the first dance, mother son, father daughter, all that. But once the party get going, you know what I'm saying, and you're playing like the line dances, right? Like let's be real.
Of course.
It's at a white wedding. They probably don't really know how to cha-cha slide or whatever. So my black ass hops on the dance floor, and then to their surprise, they're like, "Oh shit, you're supposed to be up there, but you're next to me." And I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna get this shit going." You know what I'm saying? We did
cha-cha real smooth.
Yeah. And so I'm always out. Like I'll pop back there, like just 2 or 3 times throughout the night. You know what I'm saying? And just chop it up with the bride or with the groom or whatever. It's those little just interpersonal things. The mother of the bride or the father of the bride, anything. So just like the close family, things that they're going to remember later on and be like, "Oh yeah, man, the DJ came up to me and we, talked about this or whatever. Yeah, did you see him on the dance floor?" And so it's just real quick. I'm not taking up too much of their time. I'm not being the star of the show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I do make my presence known.
I think you were always good at like group organization. So like just getting people up out of their seat and like participating. So that's probably what more so it looked like from the outside looking in. So what was your best quality that you think made you a good DJ, or what do you think the best quality for somebody that wants to be a DJ that they should be having?
For sure. So my best quality that makes me a good DJ is not only my charisma, my presentation, but the biggest compliment I get as a DJ is I'm really good at reading the room, reading the crowd.
Yes.
So what I think makes DJs fail a lot of times is you go into it with the whole set list. Like I'm playing these songs in this order. And like that. Yeah, that's cool.
That's the biggest.
That's cool. It's going to sound good because you're going to match all your BPMs. It's going to smooth. You can practice all that.
Until a lady want to hear apple.
Exactly. You're like, oh, yeah. You're like, exactly. Oh, this isn't in my list. I gotta come over here, and then you just frazzle. So I feel like that's the biggest thing that hurts DJs, especially during a wedding, because weddings they're gonna submit you like songs that they want to hear. There's typical wedding songs that you usually want to play. And I think that's what makes me the best as a DJ is reading the room. Because you'll see instantly, it's pretty funny. You play a song, people don't like it,
the
done.
floor clears.
People love it. That's the only sign.
The humbling feeling, bro. Can you agree that it's humbling? Yeah. When your dance floor clears for the first time, you're like,
okay.
What do I do? What do I do?
Filter out real quick. Let's go back to this.
Shania Twain.
Say stuff on the mic. And we got another shot.
And I dance with somebody, bow. That's instant. You know, they come back.
Yeah, just the.
Is there ever a time where the room is still full, but you can tell the vibe is not there?
Mm-hmm.
So there's different. What are the signs?
So there's ebbs and flows within the dance floor, especially because usually you're doing like at a wedding in particular, like a 4-hour set. Usually your sets when you're doing any type of party or dance is like 3 to 4 hours. Sometimes it's 5, 6, depending on how long they want to go. Within that time, you're not going to be raging, dancing, going crazy.
They got to get thirsty.
There's ebbs and flows. They want to take a break. So especially at a wedding, you can see when people start getting tired from partying and raging, they start leaving off or going to do drinks and stuff. And at that point, you can see, okay, let's switch it up. Let's maybe, to bring them back, let's slow it up. Let's do a slow dance song.
Slow dance.
Because what brings
slow
people
dance
to
guy right here.
For sure. 2 things that are big tips for all you new DJs out there to bring people onto the dance floor are slow dances, because slow dances, what that means is you're going to dance with a partner. You're less afraid, because some people just don't like dancing. They don't like having to be in the, being on the crowd and stuff. You're going to bring a partner, people are going to come onto the dance floor. And then the second one, the line dances. Because everyone knows those dances. People want to dance together. That
as soon as you hear that,
this
is something new.
Exactly.
They're going to be like, hurry up and give me my drink. I need to get to the fucking dance floor.
So those are 2 very good techniques to if your dance floor is getting kind of low.
Give me a 2025 line dance, song line dance, not 25. Crank that, not...
Hot to go.
Okay.
You know how to go?
I don't know how to go, but...
I was going to say, Shiver. Shivers by Ed Sheeran.
Oh, Shivers. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've heard that one. I haven't done it, but okay, that's dope.
This goes like the big white pop song. They have this whole dance with like
2025. If you don't know pop music, you're losing,
you're
bro.
100% losing.
Like you cannot go to any club in the United States and not hear a pop song.
Big TikTok dance.
Yeah,
you have to know.
Yeah, they're gonna be doing that.
And as a DJ, the biggest thing is just being versatile, because you're not just gonna play a white wedding or a black wedding or whatever. And even at those weddings, like you still at a black wedding, there are gonna be some country songs that bang and they're gonna hit. Like some Morgan Wallen and Dirt is gonna hit. You know what I'm saying? Right? You're gonna play some Ed Sheeran. So make sure that you're versatile. And like the biggest thing, like you said, read the room.
Hey,
you have to be able to
Kobe Calais is gonna be played at my wedding. Judge me,
For sure.
Hey, so this has been one of my favorite pods, man. We just been laughing and kicking it back. We didn't get too deep into the careers and like the later on stuff, but we got a lot of the music, DJing stuff, and a lot about y'all background. Again, if y'all comfortable coming back, I would love to do a part 2.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
The university, man. We out.
Appreciate
y'all, man.
Hey, my brother.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, shout out y'all and y'all social media tags, just so in case y'all got
Snapchat is Pathos219. Instagram is Your Really Real. So YOUREALLYRELL _219. I know it's long, but I am really real. So yeah,
for sure. Mainly DJing. You want to check me out? Purple Hearts with the Z entertainment.com. So Purple Hearts with the Z instead of an S entertainment.com. That has links to all my social media, everything I got going on. Got some TikTok, IG, that type of stuff. So yeah, check me out. If you need a DJ, let me know. I'm one of the best up-and-coming and dopest in the city.
Look,
so
we just looking for guidance. Used to say safe, but now we say stay violent. Used to be about the way, but now that shit on my conscience. Can't even watch the news. But now it ain't the right way. I know it'll be okay. Yeah, something like that. You know, when we got our back against the wall, you know, like that pressure, and make diamonds. Yeah.